Integrity. Cabin pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
Integrity copies.
This is a perfect descent for Integrity. Its crew sounding hale and hearty on board. Time to splashdown 1 minute, 15 seconds. Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon. Passing through 1,000 feet.
Use Integrity. Splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown. Waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth. And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
We are all breathing a sigh of relief. So much excitement. We're clapping with everybody else.
So good.
We're watching it. As you just heard Rob Navias, the NASA commentator there, saying that this was pretty much a perfect landing with precision, the way that it oriented itself. Suni, Dave, give us your thoughts as you're watching, as you're seeing everything work the way that it's supposed to.
I'm super excited for these guys. And, you know, it's funny because you do this like check, check, check as one thing after another. As we were watching all the parachutes come out, there's 11 on this vehicle. So when you, one after another, when you can feel when the mains come out, and then it's like, okay, great, that's good. We're going to land a little softer than if we didn't have those. So that's a good thing, right? So it's like check, check. Next thing is, you know, the crew is then getting ready for the splashdown. So they're just making sure, you know, their bodies are in the right position. They're all strapped in as good as they can. And the splashdown, of course, itself, you know, okay, boom, we're down, and now let's make sure we're staying upright, because that would be good and not be, you know, turned over, which we call stable 2. So that's another check. And now I think they're just hanging out, waiting for the rescue forces to come get them. Just happy, you know, to have them back on the ground. It's really awesome.
And Dave, to that point with the splashdown, how long before we could possibly see the astronauts?
Yeah, so there's a lot of excitement, and all the forces that have been training for this for a long time are starting to move in. You can see the small vessels moving in right now. From the hatch opening until having them in the med bay is going to be an hour or less, is what they're shooting for. So they're going to get there as quick as possible, make sure everything's good, and then they're going to get them out of the capsule so they can start hoisting them.
All right. I want to turn to Nick Hague. You know, this is a small community. It's like you all are all family, having experienced this on some level, maybe not to this extent, obviously, but you've been to space, you've been in a splashdown, you're watching these images as they're coming in. What's going through your mind?
I'm happy for them. It's so exciting. I think that you mentioned a word, family, right? So the mission really isn't over until you get them back to their families. And so that's what this big team is out there doing. They're going to extract a crew. They're going to get them back to the vessel. They're going to get them on a helicopter that's going to take them back to San Diego, and then they're going to get on a plane and go back to Ellington in Houston and finally reunite with their families. And that's when, the mission itself is pretty much over. But this is just watching them splash down. You can't help but smile and feel the excitement and be proud of those 4 individuals and their families and the sacrifices that they've made, and the whole team at NASA and the whole team you see in action right here. It's just amazing what we can do when we come together, and this is a really proud moment for the country.
Absolutely. We just heard from NASA saying that Commander Reed Weissman just radioed in, and he said, quote, all 4 astronauts are in good condition. Something that struck me, Suni, Dave, you guys could speak on this, but he said during one of his interviews, the challenge now is to this generation and the next to make sure this record is not long-lived. How do we accomplish that?
Absolutely. This is one of those things. This is, like I mentioned in the beginning, this is just opening the door. What he meant by that was the next thing is going to be even better. The next thing is even better. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep exploring. We're going to keep finding questions that we didn't even think to ask by doing this. And so I think the records, if they're distance, if they're time, whatever, we're going to conquer those in short order. And we hope that we've inspired the next generation to take on that challenge and to dream big and to think about things bigger than right in front of them. Like what is next? So I think that's the challenge.
And I think the Artemis motto says it all, for all humanity.
Mm-hmm. Jana, if you're still with us, I want to bring that same question to you in terms of the idea of not letting this be the point where we stop and we're talking about another 50 years, but we're talking about this actively in the next 2 to 3 years as the race continues to be the first to do a lot of these different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an entirely new time when we're thinking about actually developing a station on the moon. And that's just a next adventure. Can we build places to live? Can we find the resources in the regolith? Can we extract water? Can we extract fuel? So it really is a new era. And obviously, it's incredibly exciting. I was very nervous watching that splashdown, so I'm still recovering. But it's really a thrilling time.